Kathy, I know you also have written a recent book.
Okay.
And it has been on my desk for weeks because I've kept it marked up and I look at it because there's a lot of great information in it. And there's also some recipes in there. So tell me more about this book.
Well, I have been running a cooking school, a culinary institute for 30 years. And I find, there's so much information in the media about what we need to do to stay healthy. You can find a lot of really good information in almost any women's magazine today.
Mm-hmm.
There's tons of books on the market, but people don't know what to do with the information. So I have taught people how to prepare nutrient-dense, healthy food, whether they want to go vegan or whether they just want to add some vegetables to their diet. And I have taught a lot of seminars and workshops, and I do wellness classes, and I needed something to leave behind with lots of information on it. And so I created the book. And
tell me the name of it.
It's Your Health in Your Hands.
Yes.
And it's really full of strategies for people to use to keep themselves healthy and understand what kind of foods do interfere with the health of our bodies. So I'm repositioning it a little bit right now. I'm actually redoing the cover. And so I've added a few other things, and actually on my website at kathywright.com, you can get a full hour of cooking for free by downloading the DVD that's there. I have a 3-part DVD, and I decided to just give people an introduction to who I am and what I'm doing. So at kathywright.com, you can get a free hour download of a
Well, I'm
cooking
going there
DVD.
as soon as I can.
Good.
That is wonderful. I find you a very giving person, which I appreciate, because I think I recognize that in you. Tell me about your husband. You're
I have a
married?
husband. I'm married. I am married, yes.
With all those 5 kids, I
Yes,
think you'd want
yes.
with someone to
He
help
was
you.
He's an incredible man. He was an incredible father with the children, which makes it possible for a woman to go out and do as much as I've done, because
Yes.
he really shares in the responsibilities of a family and home. So he's a great guy, and we work together in the business. He's a numbers man, and I'm just a lady.
there you
I
go.
like to talk and share the information.
Yes.
And he makes that all possible.
That's so
just keeping
wonderful.
everything together.
Do you have any tips or suggestions that if you were seated across from like 3 women, could you just tell them kind of a blanket, you can do these 3 things or these 5 things to make your life more incredible?
One, and the very most important thing, and I know that you're going to agree with me on this, is that we've got to value ourselves. We have to realize how valuable we are. Our children, our husbands, our friends, our extended family, we can't contribute to them if we don't find value in ourselves and take care of ourselves.
Yes.
So, I set aside what I like to call margin in my life. If the margin in the book isn't big enough, it's really hard to read. If the words are too pressed together, well, it's really hard to live if you don't have any margin in your life for yourself.
Yeah.
So my margin is in the morning, and I have some margin in the afternoon, and I like to ride a bike, and I like to swim, and I like to do yoga. And so I put my yoga, my biking, and my swimming in my margin. And when my children were young and they were being raised, there was always something interfering with that margin, but I didn't let it every day. If it was a really important thing, I don't have to do that every day. I don't have to have an hour in the morning and the hour in the evening just to myself. But if I make the margin and I don't schedule anything else at those times, when the emergency comes up, I can handle that. But most of the time, I get some time for me. And it's really important, it's really critical. And I find that most women don't do that.
That is an excellent point, because most women are just running around looking after their husbands and their children and not spending that time with themselves. I do the same thing with facial magic. I say the same thing. Just make sure that you can spend 10 minutes a day for yourself. Just
That's
10
right.
minutes a day.
That's right.
Makes a huge difference.
Something good just like that, doing facial exercises, applying the under eye patches, reading a book that you love, something that's inspirational, taking time for prayer and meditation, just making sure you have that set aside time. So that's the first thing I tell people. I don't want to add a burden to someone's life, give them more things to do. So what I want to give them is some space. The most important thing is to take that space. You can figure out, maybe you'll read the women's magazines and find the more things you want to do to take care of yourself at that time where you're setting aside margin. And then, everyone says it, but it's really true. Vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. They're key. They're very important. They help women lose weight. They help you maintain your body tone, your muscle tone.
Yes.
And this big catchword in the magazines these days, antioxidants. I don't know if anybody quite knows what that is. When I'm speaking to a group, I usually ask them, how many people know what antioxidants are?
Okay, tell us, Kathy.
One or two, no. But okay, on what is oxidation? Because this is antioxidant.
Right.
So what is oxidation? And on metal, when you see rust, that's oxidation.
That's right.
Okay? So an antioxidant is something that stops the breakdown of the surface. That could be the surface of your skin or the surface of your internal skin cell. And when the surface of the skin cell breaks down, it doesn't use insulin very well. And people know that word, so I'm using the word insulin. People know that. And if you don't use insulin well, you end up being diabetic. And if you don't use your insulin, your body makes more because you're not using it. Then there's this insulin floating around that you can't use, and that is stored as body fat. The more insulin you have, the more weight you gain. Well, vegetables make the skin cell wall healthy. So it can do everything it's supposed to do right, and insulin's only one of those things. But if women would eat more vegetables, if they would think about plant-based foods, if they would include that, then they'd have more antioxidants and healthier cells. So I'm all about eating vegetables. This morning, my daughter and I had an omelet, and we ordered 3 eggs. We split the omelet, and we put goat cheese in it. And we had it loaded down with spinach, mushrooms, tomatoes, onions, chives. There were more vegetables in the omelet than there were eggs.
That's good. That's
so
healthy.
we had our protein, and we had all of those delicious vegetables, and then of course a little side of fruit or something that you like is fine too. But
what do you think about toast?
I was going to say, I didn't say anything about toast. Now my daughter's 22 years old, and she's doing great and works out a lot and takes care of herself quite well. So she'll eat an English muffin or a piece of toast that's not 100% whole grain and sprouted, but I won't.
Yeah.
Her metabolism's a little younger, and it burns through those things. I don't suggest to her that she do that, but she does. So that's okay. It's working for her now. But if I'm going to eat toast or bread or grain of any sort, I only eat 100% whole grains. And in bread, I don't even like flour products.
Yes.
They really are harder to digest.
Yes.
So I buy sprouted breads.
That's
they digest differently. There you go.
We must have been reading this.
We're sisters.
We are, just like we are. You are one of our ageless sisters.
There you
That's
go.
wonderful. Okay, so that's 2. So let me just reiterate so that women don't forget. 1 is to
create margin.
Yes, create margin so that you put yourself first in many situations, not just 1 or 2 situations.
That's right.
And then eat vegetables. And just a little aside to that, when you eat vegetables, you stay fuller longer.
You absolutely do.
Yes, and so that really creates a burning mechanism in your body, so to speak, to take those vegetables and really do something very positive with them.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So what would be your last little tidbit?
Well, water.
Good idea.
Water is so important, and we need to clean our water. I just really suggest that people get online and find what you like, what you think is good, but an on-site water filtration system, so you're cleaning the water right there at its point, and you know what you're taking out of it. I buy bottled water when I'm out. I don't have access to something else, but I really don't know what's been taken out of that water, what's
or put in it.
Yes, correct. So I'm just, water is very, very important. You really do need about half your body weight in water. If you do eat a lot of fruit, you can cut back on the water because you're getting a lot of water out of that fruit. But there's a lot of sugar in the fruit too.
Right.
So we got to balance the fruit, not have too much. But that hydration is really key to our health. Now let's kind of throw this in. If you drink alcohol, which most people do, once in a while at least, you want to drink water while you're drinking that alcohol because it dehydrates you.
Yes.
So you have a glass of wine, a glass of water, a glass of wine, a glass of water. So you have as much water as you do wine because you need more water when you're drinking alcohol.
Well, you know, a lot of women wake up with under-eye puffiness, and I usually attribute that to them having adult beverages at night, and they didn't take the time to flush their body before they went to bed.
Absolutely correct.
Yes.
It's absolutely correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, this woman, Kathy, is a wealth of information, and I am so delighted that we finally got to meet in real life. And I know that Jackie, you know her, you've met her previously. She's looking forward to you coming to New York.
I think I'm going to visit her while I'm there. That's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm headed there myself after the 16th of October. So.
Oh, great. It's a wonderful city.
Yes, it is.
You'll
I
have
enjoy
a great
it.
time.
I always do. Thank you so much for taking the time to be a part of the Ageless Sisters today.
It's
And
been my pleasure.
I really appreciate that, and I hope that we get to meet each other again one of these days.
Well, we'll have to do this every time I come out here, too.
Let's do it. I bet we could find lots to talk about.
I'm sure we can.
Okay. Well, for those of you listening, Frownies has a new skincare system for the under eyes and
The
what's it
beautiful
called?
eyes.
The beautiful eyes
bag.
Yes. So make sure that you go online to frownies.com and pick up this kit. What does it retail for?
$80.
Perfect. And it looks like there's a
There's a lot of products.
Yes, a lot of product there.
It's a great introduction to a variety of things.
There we go. Thank you, Kathy, so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.